Right, and I'm live. Okay, so welcome to my show this week. Tonight I'm going to be talking about knowing what we really want out of life. Okay, so and before I do that, I just want to mention that I'm available now for one-to-one coaching, and I still have my free resource available, which is on my website. Turning obstacles into turning obstacles into stepping stones. So tonight, really, what I want to really focus on is something that sprung to mind in the week through having conversations with different people. It's something that's quite common, really, in what I do, in what you hear from people. Think of it this way: if you're building a house and you build it on a load of, I don't know, sand, how likely is that house going to last for any length of time? It's not, is it? If you build it, your mindset on nothing, what's the chances of you ever being successful in life? See, the thing is, you wouldn't build a house with no foundations to it, would you? Because ultimately the thing's going to fall down. And one of the things I hear quite a lot from different people is that they want to sort their lives out first before they focus on themselves. Now think about that. Think about that, what that means. So that means they want to sort their lives out. They want to get a new job. They want to have a new relationship. They want to make more money. They want to be happy in their lives before they focus on working on themselves. Does that make sense? Because it doesn't make much sense to me. Because it makes as much sense as building a house which is made on I don't know, on sand, on a very flimsy structure. Because what will happen is you might think that you've built something quite nice, but really it'll be built on nothing, and it will fall down eventually. So what happens is when we focus on trying to fix our problems that are in life, which we all have problems of some sort, but when we focus on fixing these problems from this very same mindset that created them in the very first place, then guess what? We don't fix them. We only make them worse or create more problems. And we then end up in this vicious circle of going round and round and round and round and round and round and round, trying to fix problems all the time in our lives. Because we decide that we need to do that first before we fix ourselves. But the reality is, when you fix that in your head, that mindset of yours, what happens then is all of the problems that you think you've got in your life suddenly don't become problems anymore. Because most of the problems that we've got are created from the way we see things. So when you fix your mindset, suddenly problems don't become problems. They become opportunities, possibilities. You see things differently. And all of the things that you think are problems right now become nothing. They disappear. Stress, anxiety, all of the things that we don't want in our lives disappear. So all of the time you're chasing rainbows, hoping for things to change, and avoiding the very opportunities that you've got directly in front of you, which give you the opportunity to actually change, what you're doing is just going around in circles, hoping for the best, and never really moving forward with your life. And then you sit there and moan about it. You sit there and say, why doesn't my life change? Why have I got so much stress? Why is this going wrong? Why is this happening? Blah, 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 blah. And I must admit, it makes me laugh. Because I hear it quite a lot from different people, friends, people I talk to, clients, everything. And people don't seem to realise that the very key to your happiness in life is your mindset. You change that, or not necessarily change it, work on it to create a mindset that actually works for you, and then suddenly all your problems disappear. It's crazy, really. And it really is as simple as creating a foundation that works for you. So when you create a foundation that works, guess what? The thing you build on top of it also works. And hence why my program is called the Foundations Program. Because it's about building a very strong structure to your mindset that works in any given any given situation. And when you do that, then you're creating a mindset that's built for success in any situation. So it doesn't matter what your circumstances are. It doesn't matter what happens in your life. And we all go through ups and downs in life. But when you've got a strong foundation, you can withstand all of that. And you don't end up going through all the stuff that you're currently going through, which is dragging you down, such as stress, anxiety, worries, money concerns, things like that, because you can create those things when you've got the right mental approach to life. So what I wanted to also say here is, what do you really want in life? Ask yourself that question. What do you really want? Now, most of the time when we think of that question, we've come out with something materialistic. So it might be, I don't know, the ideal job, nice house, a soulmate, love, whatever it is. We tell ourselves that's what we want. But generally, what you tend to find is whatever we think we want is actually the surface of it. It's actually underneath that what we really want. It's the emotion that's attached to it. So it could be, I don't know, fulfillment, feeling of happiness, love, contentment, all of those sort of things. They're the real things that we want in life. It's not the materialistic thing that we perceive is what we really want. So when you ask yourself what do you really want out of life, the general answer I would say is probably self-fulfillment in life, happiness. And then when you think about what you're doing now, how well is what you're doing in life getting you that? Ask yourself that question. Because if it's not, then you have to ask yourself why isn't that? Why is what you're currently doing not getting you what you want? And what is your current approach truly costing you? Now, when I say costing you, I don't mean in terms of money. I'm talking about emotionally, mentally, physically, all of these things. So we stress out over things, and anxiety and all of that. That can affect our relationships socially. There's lots of different costs attributed to not being happy in life. But when you are fulfilled, when you are happy, suddenly those costs diminish. You don't have those anymore. You don't have all the emotional trauma, the mental baggage, the depression, all of the anxiety, all of these things that constantly plague us throughout our lives. They disappear because you're happy and you're happy with your life. That's what true fulfillment is. It's when you're truly fulfilled in all areas of your life. So ask yourself that. What is your current approach truly costing you? And if you find, like most people, that it's costing you quite a lot, then ask yourself this question: how likely would you, or how interested I should say, would you be in finding out a way of getting what you want out of life, but with much, much less cost? Because there is a way. There is a way. And that comes back to what I said at the beginning here. It's about creating a true, strong foundation to your mindset that works for you in any given situation, circumstance. And when you do that, you literally create whatever you want out of life. You perform at your best consistently. You're at the best in every area of your life. Mentally, emotionally, physically, socially, environmentally, spiritually. Every single area of your life you perform well at consistently. But you're not doing that because you're too busy looking at how I can solve the problems that I've already created with the same mindset. It cracks me up. It really does, because so many people just don't get it. And there is the ones that do wish they had done it sooner, a lot sooner. Believe me, they do. And I wish I'd done it sooner, because it's changed my life. And it could change your life too, if only you saw the value in creating the foundations to your mindset before you built anything on top of it. Because if you decided to do that, then you would be really in a position to create whatever you wanted in life, really. So that's all I really wanted to say tonight. So think about that. How well is what you're doing right now in life really helping you to create what you really want out of life? And if it isn't, then what are you going to do about it? Are you going to carry on trying to fix problems from the same problem mindset that you created those problems in the first place? Keep going around in circles and then moaning about it because you can't fix those problems? If that's the case, then fine. Crack on. Enjoy your life. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to carry on living by these principles that I teach and enjoying my life, being totally happy and totally fulfilled. And if that's what you want, then all you got to do is head over to my website and give me a little message, and I will have a chat with you, find out what your situation is. I will then go through my program with you and tell you exactly how I can help you create the foundations to a successful mindset. Okay? And that's all for today, and I will speak to you all next week. Have a great week. Ta-ta. Bye-bye.